Click, add to cart. Complete purchase. A package is on its way. Another item that, if we're being honest, we probably don't truly need, but in that fleeting moment, we desperately wanted. Sound familiar? Have you ever gotten to the end of the month, looked at your credit card statement, and had that sinking feeling, asking yourself, where did all my money actually go? Do you ever feel like you're caught on a nonstop treadmill of earning, spending, and then earning more just to spend it again? The flash sales that create a false sense of urgency, the limited edition drops, the picture-perfect brunch you just had to post on Instagram, it's like an invisible current, pulling us along without giving us a second to stop and just breathe. We work so hard for our money, only to trade it for quick fixes, for things that fill a temporary void we don't always understand. But what if we could just hit pause on all of it? Not just for a day, but for 30 whole days. What if we put ourselves through a personal experiment, a challenge, just to see what would happen when we stopped spending? Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are diving deep into a challenge that is gaining incredible momentum all over the world. A challenge with the power to be genuinely life-changing. The 30-day no-spend challenge. Now, I know what you might be thinking. No spend. That sounds extreme, maybe even impossible. But don't worry. This isn't about living a life of miserable deprivation, starving yourself, or becoming a hermit. Think of it more as an intentional financial cleanse. Here's the basic idea. For 30 days, you commit to spending money only on your absolute, non-negotiable essentials. We're talking about the things you truly need to live. That means your rent or mortgage payment, your essential utilities like electricity, water, and the internet you need for work, gas to get you to your job, groceries, and I mean basic ingredients for home-cooked meals and any necessary medications or healthcare costs. Everything else, every single want, goes onto a frozen list. You say a temporary no to new clothes, even if they're 70% off. You say goodbye to that daily Starbucks latte, the happy hour drinks with coworkers, the fancy dinners out. You hold off on buying the latest tech gadget. You cancel the streaming services you barely use, and you resist every single one of those tempting, impulsive Amazon purchases. The goal of this challenge isn't just to save a chunk of money in 1 month. That's just the tip of the iceberg. It's a nice bonus. The real, deeper purpose is to finally understand the biggest enemy in our own financial battles, our own habits and the mindless emotions that drive them. And most importantly, this video won't just stop at telling you how to survive the 30 days. We are going to dig into the core question, the one that reveals the true value of this entire experience. What really happens after the 30 days are over? Does it actually change your financial life for good? Or is it just a short-term experiment before everything snaps back to the way it was? To get the most complete answer, our journey today will be broken down into 3 main parts. First, we'll relive the 30-day journey, a path that can be tough but is full of discovery. Next, we'll analyze the immediate aftermath, the surprising changes that happen right when the challenge ends. And finally, the most crucial part, we'll look at the long-term impact and the hard-earned lessons that this challenge leaves behind. Are you ready? Let's get started. Week 1. If I had to describe it in one word, it would be shock. Your mind and body, which have been conditioned for instant gratification, are now facing a hard no. The shopping withdrawal is real. It's not a physical pain, but a nagging, restless feeling in your mind, a constant itch you can't scratch. On Monday morning, you drive your usual route, and your car almost automatically turns into the Starbucks drive-thru before you catch yourself. Nope, not today. You go home and make a cup of instant coffee. It tastes fine, but it lacks the feeling, the ritual, the comfort of starting your day with that familiar green logo cup in your hand. At lunchtime, your coworkers decide to order from that new taco place everyone's been raving about. You politely decline and open the Tupperware container of leftovers you packed last night. You listen to them talk about how amazing the food is. And that feeling of FOMO, the fear of missing out, starts to creep in. You feel a little isolated, like you're on the outside looking in. You get home in the evening, exhausted from a long day. Your thumb instinctively opens the Amazon app. The banners for daily deals, the algorithm-perfected items you might like section. They feel like they're personally calling out to you, daring you to break your own rule. It's in this moment you realize that scrolling through online stores has become a form of self-soothing, a way to de-stress. And now, that coping mechanism is gone. This first week is a constant internal battle. You are forced to come face to face with habits so deeply ingrained you didn't even know they were there. I realized I would often buy a Coke not because I was thirsty, but because I was bored. I would buy a new book on Kindle not because I had finished my old ones, but because the thrill of a new potential story was addictive. The first week exposes all the raw, uncomfortable truths about our often toxic relationship with spending. It's hard. It's tiring. But it's the absolutely necessary first step for any real change to begin. If week 1 was the shock, weeks 2 and 3 are the phase of adaptation and creativity. It's a fascinating phenomenon. When you close the door labeled "spend money," you'll find that so many other doors you never noticed before start to open. Your brain, no longer able to use money as a quick fix tool, is forced to become more resourceful. Instead of ordering Uber Eats, you start searching for new recipes on YouTube or TikTok. You rediscover the simple joy of preparing a meal from scratch, plating it beautifully, and truly savoring your own creation. Your fridge is no longer a graveyard for takeout boxes. It's filled with fresh vegetables, proteins, and fruits. You learn how to meal prep for the week, going to the grocery store once with a clear list and using every ingredient to its fullest potential. Your cooking skills might improve more in these 2 weeks than they have in the past 2 years. Instead of buying a new outfit for an event, you open your closet and truly look inside. You unearth beautiful pieces you completely forgot you owned. You go on Pinterest and learn new ways to style the clothes you already have. Shopping your own closet becomes a fun and creative game. You have a profound realization. You don't need more clothes. You just need to be more creative with the ones you have. Instead of going to the movies or expensive amusement parks for entertainment, you start seeking out free pleasures. An afternoon walk in a local park you've never explored, feeling the sun on your skin and breathing fresh air. A trip to the public library, getting lost in the aisles of books without spending a dime. You call up your close friends and invite them over for a potluck dinner and a movie night with a projector and a laptop. You realize that what makes a get-together meaningful isn't the fancy venue or the expensive bill, but the quality of the conversation and the simple act of being present with each other. During this phase, an unexpected benefit starts to emerge. You have so much more time. Think about it. How many hours have you saved by not aimlessly wandering the aisles of Target? How much time did you get back by not scrolling for hours on end through online boutiques, comparing prices, and reading endless reviews? That reclaimed time is now yours to invest in more meaningful pursuits. Reading that book on your nightstand, starting a new workout routine, learning a new skill on YouTube, or simply doing nothing at all and letting your mind rest. You are reconnecting with yourself and with the people around you in a way that feels more authentic and profound. As you enter the final week, everything seems to have found its rhythm. The desperate cravings of week 1 have significantly subsided. Saying no to an invitation to go out or a tempting online ad is no longer an intense internal struggle. It becomes a natural, almost automatic response. In its place, a sense of pride and control begins to grow. You no longer feel like a victim of marketing tactics or social pressure. You are the one in the driver's seat. You open your banking app, and for the first time in a long time, you see the balance has not only stopped dropping, but has actually increased by a noticeable amount. That number isn't just money. It is a tangible symbol of your willpower, your discipline, and your effort over the past 3 weeks. It is concrete proof that you are fully capable of controlling your financial life. This is also when the first major realizations begin to crystallize. First, you can now clearly and effortlessly distinguish between a need and a want. A need is a nutritious meal. A want is a $20 artisanal pizza. A need is reliable transportation. A want is the newest model car. This line, which was once so blurry, is now sharp and clear. Second, you start to identify your personal spending triggers. You realize that you do most of your online shopping when you feel stressed or bored. You notice that scrolling through Instagram and seeing a friend's vacation photos is precisely when you feel the urge to book a flight you can't afford. Identifying these triggers is like finding the root of a weed. Once you know where the root is, you can finally pull it out. The fourth week ends the challenge not with a sense of relief, but with a quiet sense of enlightenment. You've traveled a great distance, not just on the calendar, but within your own mind. And just like that, 30 days are up. Looking back, it was so much more than a challenge about money. It was an adventure into your own inner world. It was major surgery for your most ingrained habits. It was a mental detox from the drug of consumerism. We went from shock and deprivation to adaptation and creativity, and finally, to a place of control and awareness. We learned how to cook, how to enjoy free entertainment, how to connect more deeply with people, and most importantly, we learned to tell the difference between what we truly need and what society tells us we should want. The money saved, whether it's a little or a lot, is just a secondary prize. The real reward is the feeling of freedom. Freedom from being dependent on material things. Freedom from the pressure to spend money to prove our worth. These 30 days have laid a new foundation. But the big question remains, what happens now? Is this foundation strong enough to build a solid financial future on, or will it crumble the moment the storm of revenge spending hits? Day 31. The challenge is officially over. What's the very first feeling that washes over you? For many, it's an overwhelming sense of freedom. You can buy that coffee you've been dreaming of. You can order the pizza you've been craving. You can walk into Target without repeating the mantra, "I'm just looking." But hidden within this exhilarating moment of freedom lies an incredibly dangerous psychological trap: revenge spending. Imagine you've been on a very strict diet for a month. What's the first thing many people do when it's over? They binge on all the foods they missed, eating uncontrollably to make up for the days of suffering. Spending works in the exact same way. After 30 days of suppression, a voice in your head might be screaming, "I worked so hard. I deserve a reward." And so, you storm the stores. You swipe your card without thinking. Your Amazon cart is full again overnight. The money you painstakingly saved over 30 days could evaporate in a matter of hours. This is a very real psychological phenomenon. It stems from a feeling of deprivation. When we impose overly restrictive rules on ourselves, the rebellious part of our psyche will look for any opportunity to break free. If you fall into this trap, the entire effort of the past 30 days becomes meaningless. In fact, it can make things even worse. Because you don't just go back to your old habits, you overcompensate with a wild spending spree fueled by a "I deserve it" mentality. So how do you avoid this catastrophic pitfall? The most important thing is to have a plan for day 31. Don't just let yourself loose into a world of undirected freedom. Stop, take a deep breath, and remind yourself of why you started this challenge in the first place. Look at the number in your savings account. Reread the journal entries you wrote about your feelings. Don't sabotage a month's worth of progress for a moment of recklessness. Allow yourself a small, intentional reward, like a nice dinner out, not a mindless shopping spree. Day 31 and the days that follow are not a time to revert to your old ways. They are a golden opportunity to build a new path forward. This is the moment to sit down, with a clear head and a completely fresh perspective on money, to redefine your relationship with it. Start with a simple but powerful action. Take out the wish list of things you wanted to buy during the 30-day challenge. When you started, You probably thought you'd buy everything on this list the second it was over. But now, read through that list slowly. That shirt, those sneakers, that new gadget. You will be astonished to find that more than 80% of the things you once thought were must-haves no longer hold any appeal. The momentary craving has passed, and you realize they are completely unnecessary. Take a red pen and cross them out with no mercy. This action is incredibly satisfying. It's a physical confirmation that you have conquered your own impulsive desires. After you've purged your wish list, the next step is to build a new, intentional budget. This isn't just about passively tracking where your money went. This is about you proactively deciding where your money will go. To serve the values that are most important to you, pull up your bank statements from the month before the challenge and compare them to the month of the challenge. The difference will be staggering. It will pinpoint the exact leaks in your financial boat. The money spent on eating out, on mindless shopping, on subscriptions you forgot you had. Now, create a new spending plan based on what you've learned. You might use a popular framework like the 50-30-20 rule, where 50% of your income goes to needs, 30% to wants, and 20% to savings and debt repayment. But more importantly, personalize it. Maybe you realized you don't need 30% for wants. Okay, and you'd rather aggressively boost your savings to 30% or even 40%. And one critically important thing, create a fun money category. This is a set amount of money each month that you are allowed to spend on whatever you want, completely guilt-free. It could be for a nice meal, a new book, or a movie ticket. This practice helps you maintain balance, prevents the feeling of being overly restricted, and ultimately makes your financial plan much more sustainable in the long run. One of the most interesting changes after the challenge is how you view your social life. Before, many of your get-togethers might have been centered around spending money, going out for coffee, dinner, or shopping. You might have worried that not spending money would isolate you from your friends. But after 30 days, you might discover a happy truth. Your true friends, the ones who value you for who you are and not what you can spend, will be completely supportive of your efforts. They might even be curious and willing to join in on the less expensive activities you suggest. You might become the one who initiates picnics in the park, potluck dinners at home, or hiking trips on local trails. You realize that the laughter during a home-cooked meal feels warmer than the manufactured ambiance of an expensive restaurant. The deep conversation you have while taking a long walk is far more valuable than sitting across from each other scrolling on your phones in a loud coffee shop. Your relationships get a filter. They become based on genuine connection and shared experiences, no longer dependent on a transaction. You learn how to politely say no to invitations that don't align with your financial goals. And you'll find that good friends respect that. Your relationships become higher in quality, and that is a priceless asset. So, what happens when the initial excitement fades? When life settles back into its normal rhythm, 6 months, or even a year later, what really remains? Do you slide back into your old ways? For so many people who complete the challenge with intention, the surprising answer is no. The 30-day challenge isn't a magic pill, but it acts as a powerful operating system reboot for your financial brain. It forges new neural pathways, and if you continue to reinforce them, they become permanent superhighways. One of the greatest legacies that lasts is mindful spending. On this becomes a subconscious, automatic shift. Before every potential purchase, big or small, a series of questions will naturally pop into your head. Do I really need this? Or do I just want it? Will this add genuine, long-term value to my life? How will I feel about this purchase a week from now? And this tiny pause, this moment of reflection, is the most powerful shield against impulsive buying. You are no longer controlled by fleeting emotions. The natural consequence of mindful spending is a dramatic increase in your savings and investments. The money that used to just disappear on miscellaneous wants now has a purpose. You can watch your emergency fund grow. You can see your credit card debt shrink. And for the first time, You might have enough surplus cash to start thinking about investing for your future. The impact isn't just for 1 month, it compounds month after month, creating a powerful snowball effect. The sense of financial security this brings is invaluable. Along with that comes a significant reduction in money-related stress and anxiety when you know exactly where your money is going. When you have a clear plan and a safety net, you no longer live with that constant, low-grade fear of an unexpected expense. You sleep better. You feel calmer. Being in control of your money brings a sense of peace and confidence that spills over into every other area of your life. And finally, you develop a stronger immunity to external temptations. The 50% off, final hours, marketing emails no longer make your heart race. The curated, perfect lives on social media no longer make you feel inadequate or envious. You understand that it's someone else's highlight reel, and you're busy building a life of authentic value for yourself. You've developed an internal filter that helps you separate the noise from the signal. But after all is said and done, after 6 months, a year, or even longer, you come to realize a profound truth. The biggest, most valuable lesson that the No Spend Challenge teaches you, ironically, has nothing to do with money. Money is just the vehicle. It's the tool you use to conduct the experiment. The true destination of this journey is the rediscovery of your core life values. This challenge forces you to answer the question, what truly brings you joy and fulfillment? Is it the latest designer bag? Or is it a quiet afternoon reading in the park? Is it a lavish dinner at a trendy restaurant? Or is it the sound of your loved ones laughing around a table filled with food you cooked yourself? Is it the act of acquiring one more thing? Or is it the experience of learning a new skill or completing a project with your own 2 hands? You learn that happiness and a fulfilling life are not for sale. They are found in experiences, in human connection, in personal growth, and in gratitude for what you already have. Abundance isn't about having everything you want. It's about appreciating everything you have. It comes from within, not from without. You also realize you are far wealthier than you ever thought. Your wealth isn't just the number in your bank account. It's in the time you possess. It's in your health. It's in your skills. It's in your limitless creativity. And it's in the love of your family and friends. These are the priceless resources that no amount of money can buy. And this challenge helped you unearth them again. You learn to leverage these resources to create a rich life without being dependent on constant consumption. That is the definition of true financial freedom. If you're listening to this and feeling a spark of inspiration, if you want to experience this transformative journey for yourself, I have a few final pieces of advice to help you get started smoothly and effectively. First, clearly define your why. Why do you want to do this? Is it to pay off debt? To save for a down payment? Or is it simply to regain control over your life? Write that reason down on a piece of paper and stick it somewhere you'll see it every day, like your bathroom mirror or your computer monitor. It will be your guiding star on the tough days. Second, plan ahead. Don't wait until day one to figure things out. Take a few days to prepare. Go grocery shopping for the first week. Make a list of free activities you can do. Cancel unnecessary subscriptions. And delete the shopping apps from your phone. Preparation is 50% of the battle. Third, tell your close friends and family. Explain what you're doing and why it's important to you. Getting support from the people around you will reduce social pressure and give you an extra layer of accountability. Fourth, don't demand perfection. You might make a mistake. You might slip up and buy a coffee one day. It's okay. Don't let one stumble make you give up on the entire race. Forgive yourself and start fresh the next day. This is a marathon, not a sprint. And finally, find a buddy or join an online community. Sharing your struggles and celebrating your small wins with someone else can make the journey so much easier and more fun. The power of community is a tremendous motivator. So, we've walked through the entire journey together, from the initial struggles and surprising discoveries to the profound and lasting impact, the 30-day no-spend challenge. In the end, isn't a magical financial solution that will solve all your problems overnight. It's not about being cheap or frugal to the point of misery. It is a tool, a powerful tool that allows you to pause, observe, and understand. It's like a mirror held up to your life, reflecting back all your habits, beliefs, fears, and your deepest desires related to money. It's an opportunity to press the reset button on that relationship, to change your mindset and your behaviors from the inside out. When you complete this challenge, you don't just walk away with more money in the bank. You walk away with confidence. You walk away with peace of mind. You walk away with creativity. You walk away with deeper connections. And most importantly, you walk away with the power to redefine wealth on your own terms. Wealth is no longer about how much you own. It's about how little you need to feel happy and free. The journey to financial freedom isn't a destination, it's a path. And the No Spend Challenge is one of the most powerful, meaningful first steps you can take on that path. What about you? Have you ever tried a No Spend Challenge? If so, what was the biggest lesson you learned? And if you haven't, what's holding you back? Please share your stories, your experiences, and your questions in the comments section below. Every single comment is a source of motivation for our entire community. If you found this video helpful and valuable, please consider giving it a thumbs up, sharing it with a friend who you think needs to hear this message, and most importantly, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss out on more honest and practical content in the future. Thank you so much for your time and for watching. I wish you the very best on your financial journey, and I'll see you in the next video.